Hello everyone, I'm David Lutz, Director of Music and Arts here at All Saints and the producer of the Cross and Culture Series, an annual community-wide event where we focus on how we're called as Christians to engage faithfully with a particular part of our culture. This year our topic is Music as Mission, and we're excited to partner with our friends at Christ the King Presbyterian here in Austin to host this event. And I'm joined today by one of our featured musicians at the event, B. Sterling Archer, who, in addition to leading music in our third service, also directs the orchestra program at Regent School, which is just down the road. And he's also an acclaimed singer-songwriter and performer. So B. Sterling and another phenomenal singer-songwriter, John Guerra, will both perform a concert here on that Friday, February 4th. And they'll also dig into the mission behind what they do, which broadly is not only to bless the church with their music, but also to extend God's love through their songs and their performances to the watching and the listening world. So B. Sterling, underlying this event every year is our belief that Christ is both the Lord of all of our lives and also all of life, and that includes the culture around us. And so we believe that he uses even what we create, like music, and by music I don't just mean Christian music, music for the church, but all music to grow his kingdom. So as a performer and songwriter, I know you've seen God use your music in numerous ways to reach folks outside the church. So I'm curious, is there a particular song or performance that stands out to you?
There is, and truth be told, you gave me this question last night to ponder, so I did. And the performance that really sticks to my heart is one that I didn't even get paid for. It was one that wasn't marketed or planned. It was an impromptu performance. And what happened was about 3 years ago, it'll be 3 years this summer, I was in El Paso with my wife, and we were visiting some friends. It was the height of the border crisis that we had going on. There was just thousands and thousands of migrants at the border, some of them being stopped in Mexico and Juarez, some being able to come in the United States. And I have a dear friend named Sammy DiPasquale, one of my best friends, who runs a border program, nonprofit called Ibarra Frontiers. And at the time, he was hosting news media, he was hosting Christian organizations, different people, to show them what was happening at the border. And at my bugging and request, he let my wife and I tag along. So we went to this one migrant shelter. It was about a mile from the border, and it was amazing just to see these people some of them came from Brazil, Venezuela, Ecuador, Mexico, you name it. And the host of this shelter was a real soft-spoken man named Chris. And I remember him gathering all of these news personalities, Christian organizations, and sitting us down and saying, hey, I know that we all have differences on immigration policy. And he goes, and that's okay. He goes, I just want us to agree on one thing before we get started. He goes, that these people are made in the image of God and that they are deeply, deeply loved by him. And he goes, other than that, any questions are welcome. And it was so profound for me. And my wife and I just kind of sat there in the back thinking, what can we do? You know, what do we have to offer? And I had brought my guitar. I bring it everywhere. And so I just thought they were going to have dinner in an hour or two. And I said to Chris, can I give like a concert here for these people? And he goes, absolutely, that would be awesome. And I go, is that something that you guys have done before? He goes, no one's ever played music or done anything like that. So I grabbed my guitar. They had a little makeshift PA, but only one mic, and it didn't have an input for my guitar. So I turned the mic towards my guitar and turned it up as loud as it would go and just belted out some songs. And they were in their food line getting their food and coming to sit down at these tables. And I was singing some Christian songs, and some people knew it and some people didn't. And then all of a sudden I thought, what's something that everybody knows? And I thought, how about the Beatles? So I thought the song that came to me was All You Need Is Love. And I started playing it, and a social worker there yells out to the crowd, "Amor, amor!" And then heads started nodding. They started realizing what the song was, and they said, "Todo lo que necesitas es amor." And then they were like, "Oh!" And they started singing with me, and it was, I've never felt a feeling like that. And afterwards, these people who have nothing stood up and gave me a standing ovation. And that meant more to me than any other performance I'd been a part of. And as I talked to them afterwards, these families and these kids, I found out it's quite a number of them were Christians. And I just felt like at one with all these people. And so that was the most memorable concert I've been a part of.
Wow. Thanks for sharing that.
Sure.
So God at work, not even in our own music, but even through the Beatles, and not even in performances where we aren't necessarily planned to be performing. So that's just a little taste of the kinds of stories and some of the context mission behind what B. Sterling and what John do as songwriters and as performers. So we encourage you to come and to hear, participate in a great evening of music and good food and conversation. Hear much more about their experience. Hopefully be inspired in your own creativity, your own callings, and looking for God to be at work in and through that. So we hope that you can join us, and please do invite your family, your music-loving friends and neighbors to join us. It's going to be a great evening. So for more information and to register for the event, please visit the following link. Thank you.